Question number 4. Given that the function fx is hx plus 3 divided by 2, and the inverse of f when the input is k is equivalent to 6, express hash in terms of k. So it means that the final answer must be hash equals to something k plus something else, right? So now we look at the question first. They give us one f functions and one inverse functions. So usually for these kind of questions, we will try to use comparing. How do we compare? We try to inverse the f functions so that we have two of the same equivalent functions, then only we can compare. So we try to do this one first, inverse it. So how do we inverse? We do our method of L, I, Y. So let y is equals to our function here, which is hash x plus 3 over 2. After that, we're going to interchange our x and y, where x become y and y become x. So we have x is equal to hash y plus 3 over 2. And our last step is going to be solve for y. Solve for y. So we're going to find out what is our y here. So remember, this line is what we call as a division, divide. So divided by 2 go over to left hand side, become times 2. So 2x is equal to hash y plus 3. So at here is a plus 3, go over to left hand side, become minus 3. 2x minus 3 is equal to hash y. When you stick together is a times, when you stick together is a times, you go to another side, become divide. So 2x minus 3 divided by hash is equal to y. So we're done to find out what is our y here, and that is going to be our f inverse. So we can conclude that our f inverse here is going to be 2x minus 3 over hash. So we are somehow close to whatever that we want, but now they say, hey, our input is not x. We are going to plug in k. So k is our input now. So what should we do? We change our x to become k. So now we are exactly the same. Can you see that? We are the same. So we are the same. We will say that this thing will be equivalent to 6 because we are same. So we can say that 2k minus 3 over hash is same as 6. So since we want hash to be alone because x plus hash, so hash going to the right hand side and 6 going down. So 2k minus 3 is 6 hash. How to find hash? When are together is a times, go there become divide. So hash is equal to 2k minus 3 over 6. And we are done. But don't forget that our subject is always at the left hand side. We can just say that hash is equal to 2k minus 3 over 6. This is how you do. Question number 5. The diagram shows a picture of a manufacturer, a retailer, and a customer. The handbag produced by the manufacturers will be sent to the retailer first before selling them to the customer like us. But during a sales promotion, the manufacturers will offer a 75 ringgit rebate to the retailer. So it means that the manufacturer is going to give 75 ringgit rebate to the retailer as a sales promotions. Meanwhile, the retailer is good enough to give 5% discount to the customer like us. So we know that we're going to receive a 5% discount. So let us see what's the question asking. Find the price that the customer has to pay based on X. So it means that we need to know first what is the manufacturer price. So this everything is in terms of composite functions because we know that we have two functions here. One is the 75 ringgit rebate and one is the 5% rebate. So how can we write it down? So we can say that the first function as a fx maybe, and it's going to be 75 ringgit discount. So we minus 75 based on whatever the price that we don't know yet. Meanwhile, the end customer here is going to receive the 5% rebate. So 5% rebate means that if initially you need to pay 100%, so minus 5%, you just need to pay 95%. But we know 95% in terms of decimal is just 0.95. So we need to pay 0.95 times whatever, right? But what is this whatever? Is it just take x minus 75 into the second functions? No, because we know that we wouldn't get the 75 ringgit rebate that is exclusive to the retailer. We need to find what is the original price from the manufacturer first. So how do we do this? We just need to do inverse. Reverse it back of what is the price that they are getting from the manufacturers before the discount. So before the discount, we know we just need to plus back the 75 ringgit. 75 ringgit. So after we get the 75 ringgit, then only we have the 5% rebate as a end customer. So we can say that we times x plus 75. So our functions is just basically just, let's say we call this one as a gx, and we can say that this is just 0.95 times x plus 75. We go for B now. If a customer buy a handbag for a price of 499.90, so we know that eventually we buy the handbag at 499.90. So this is the price for the end customer, because we know that this is a function to find the price the customer has to pay. So now they give us is 499.90. Let us find back what is the original price. So what we need to do is just find back the x. So we just compute this one by expanding. We will have 0.95x plus 71.25 is equal to 499.90. So if you minus this one, 499.99 minus, because we know it's a plus, go over there, become minus. So if you minus it, you will have 428.65 is equal to 0.95x. And we are together is a times, go there, become divide. So we have 428.65 divided by 0.95. So we get our x is eventually RM 451.21. So we know this is the price from the manufacturers. But calculate the profit gained by the retailer. So we know the retailer is going to get a 75 ringgit discount. So we need to minus off the 75 ringgit first. So after minus 75, we will have 376.21. So this eventually is the price of whatever the retailer is buying from the manufacturers. Meanwhile, they are selling you at 499.90 after discount. So how much do they earn in the progress? We take the customer buying price minus the price that the retailer get. Then this is eventually the profit, which is RM 123.69. So this question is very confusing, is based on the price in the retailer and the manufacturers, because by a logical thinking, it's impossible for us to get the discount that is exclusive to the retailer. So this is why we need to inverse it back to find what is the price based on the manufacturers, and then based on that price, we have just the 5% discount as the end customer. Question number 6. They show us, based on the above informations, the relation between P and Q is defined by the set of order pair, -2, 2, -1, and so on. So the best way of doing this one is we translate to become something we are more familiar, which is the arrow diagram. So let us try to plot the arrow diagram here to see what is going on. So we see first we have -2 here. -2 maps to 2. So we start with -2 maps to 2. -1 maps to 1. -1 maps to 1. What else do we have here? 0 maps to 0. And next one, 1 maps to 1. So can you see that? 1 maps to 1. And 2 maps to 2. Set the relations. So we know -2 and 2 go to the same output, and -1 and 1 go to the same output. We will say that this one is many to 1. Just like you imagine that this is you and this is your friend. Both of you go after the same star that you like. Maybe both of you prefer BTS, or maybe both of you prefer one similar singer. So we know that both of you go to one artist, so it's many to 1. Use the function notation. Write a relationship between P and Q. So how do we write down this one is, we know -2 become 2, -1 become 1. So eventually it returns all the negative things become the positive one. So we know that what is the function that turns all the negative numbers so that our grandma can understand is we use modulus functions. So modulus functions, whatever that we put into our modulus functions, it turns out to be a positive number, right? So we're going to make it a positive number by using a modulus functions. Maybe we say this function is called m, receive the input of x, and the process is just a modulus, because modulus is going to help us to convert the negative number to become a positive one. M is just a name that you give to the functions that you prefer, and x is just whatever that you put it in. You will take it to process, and how do we process? We process it by using a modulus functions. Hey, if you have any questions or would like to see any kind of video, do leave your comments below and let me know. If you want to support us so that we could make more videos like this, the simplest way is just by sharing the video with your friends. Click the like buttons and consider subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video.